Hello friends, welcome to this Facebook live session. I Dr. Niradhar De, faculty member, School of Education, Indira Gandhi National Open University, welcome you all to this Facebook live session. So friends, today we are going to discuss one of the course. This is the introduction of one of the course. The course code is MES-014 and course title is Societal Context of Education. So friends, I have already discussed three earlier courses of MA Education first year, the courses that are included in your MA Education program, especially in the first year. First, we have discussed MES-011, Understanding Education. Then we have discussed MES-012, Concept and Purpose of Education. Then also we have discussed MES-013, that is Teaching, Learning and Education. And today we are going to discuss the fourth course of MA Education program, which is studied in the first year of the program. The course code is MES-014 and course title is Societal Context of Education. Friends, I'm taking the session and in between I will not go through the comments and the queries that you are asking. So you write on your queries and comments and your feedback, your difficulties, and after taking the session I will go through all the comments and definitely I will reply your comments. So friends, let us, before discussing the introduction of the course, let me to first give a brief overview about the program, because what I have observed that in every session new learners, they are also joining with us, and especially the learners who are enrolled in the January 2021 session. The new learners, when they are going to understand the course beforehand, they want to know about the brief overview about different courses that are kept, that are included in both the years of the program. And let me to say one more information in this Facebook live session, that Indira Gandhi National Open University has announced admission session for July 2021 cycle, July 2021 session. Now you can take admission. You will find the online admission link is given in the admission portal, that is in the IGNOU website, www.ignou.ac.in. You will find that online admission for the session July 2021 link is there, admission portal is there, and directly you can take online admission. But I will request all our learners, our prospective learners, that before taking the admission, definitely go through the instruction page, that how you will fill the form, what are the different documents that you are supposed to upload during filling the online form, okay, and finally you have to submit also. So friends, let us now proceed further to discuss about a brief overview about the program. The eligibility of the program is a bachelor's degree in any discipline with or without a degree in education from a recognized university. It means the learners, those who have studied education as a subject at their graduation level, they are eligible to pursue MA education program in IGNOU, and at the same time the learners who have not studied education as a subject at their graduation level, they are also eligible. And for them, one bridge course that has been included in this program, that is MES-011, Understanding Education. So that course will help to that group of learners who has not studied education as a subject. So that will provide you a brief understanding, a basic understanding about the concept and educational discourses that are being discussed in this MA education program. And for the total credit of the program is of 68. This is a 2 years program. And the courses are grouped in such a way that you have to study 34 credits at the first year of this program, and you have to study 34 credits in the second year of this program. Friends, let me to give few seconds. Let me to see it is whether it is coming in my mobile or not, just to verify. Yes, fine, it is coming. So then the further another important aspect, that is the duration of this program. You all know that the minimum duration of the program is of 2 years, and the maximum duration of this program is of 4 years. You can complete your program taking the maximum time, that is 4 years. And this program is offered both in January and July session as per the practice of IGNOU. So now July 2021 session admission is going on. Admission link is given on in the online admission portal. So you can follow the online admission portal and directly you can take admission. And further to discuss about the other aspects of MA education program, the medium of instruction of MA education program is of English. It means the material, the self-learning materials are developed in this program in English language, but to facilitate the learners, to provide certain services to the learners, you are able to, if you want, you can write your assignment in Hindi, both in Hindi and English. You can also write your term and examination both Hindi and English. You can also write your dissertation proposal, which is kept in the second year of this program. That is one of the compulsory component, that you have to do a project. You have to do a small research, a dissertation, a practical oriented course. So for that you have to write a proposal, and at the same time you have to write a report also. So you can write the proposal and also you can write the report both in English as well as in Hindi. Then the total program fee, so far as the program guide of July 2021 session is concerned, means the admission is going on for July 2021 session. The total program fee is of 18,400, and you have to pay it in 2 installments, and that is the part of online admission system. Means when you will take the online admission, then you have to you have to pay the fee online also, okay, by using your card, by using your debit, or by using your credit card, or by internet banking also. So 9,200 you have to pay at the beginning of the first year of this program, and again 9,200 you have to pay at the beginning of the second year of this program. This is the the general aspects of the program of MA education, and further the program framework, the program design, the detailed program design is just like MA education program comprises in 4 groups of courses with differential weightage. Okay, so just like here, the 4 groups are: Group A is basic course on education, then for the Group B is the core courses, and Group C is courses on knowledge generation in education, and Group D is specialized areas in education, courses related to specialized areas in education. In the next slide, we will discuss about that what are the different specific courses that are included in different groups. So let us go forward. You see, in the first group, that is Group A, I was just talking earlier that this is a type of bridge course. Those have not studied education, but all have to study this course. The course title, only one course is included in this course, in this group. Course code is MES-014, and course title is Understanding Education. And this is a 4-credit course, and this is the first course of this program. You have to study it in the second year of this program. And for the in Group B, this is the core courses. You will find 4 courses are included in this group. that is MES-012 Education, Nature and Purpose, MES-013 Learning, Learner and Development, MES-014 Societal Context of Education. This course today we are going to discuss, MES-014. This is one of the core course which is studied at the first year of this program. Then another core course under Group B, that is MES-015 Operational Dimensions of Education. Accordingly, 4 courses are included in Group B and each course is of 6 credits weighted. So total 24 credits you have to study in this group. Then Group C, that is the courses on knowledge generation in education. So here you have to create, you have to understand research. At the same time, you have to do a research also. You have to do a dissertation or a project also. So certain practical oriented courses are included in this group for the development of a skill, research skill, data collection skill, data analysis skill, use of statistics for data analyzing, and at the same time for writing a report also. So how to write an assignment, how to write a research report. Okay, so this is the compulsory component of MA education program. So in this group you will find that under the knowledge generation courses, 2 courses are included. One is MES-016, that is the educational research. You have to study in the first year of this program. This is a 6 credit course. And MESP-001, the course title is dissertation. This is a 10 credit course that you have to study in the second year. Okay, so in the first year you have to study MES-011, 012, 013, 014, 015 and 016. Okay, 1 course in Group A, that is 011, 4 courses in Group B, that is 012, 13, 14 and 15, and 1 course is from Group C, that is from knowledge generation courses, that is MES-011. So all the 6 courses that you have to study in the first year of this program. And second year, here you have to study a dissertation, that is a 10 credit course. So under this category C, 16 credits you have to study, 1 theory course and 1 practical course. And the last group, that is the specialized areas in education. So here you see 6 areas are kept under this category: higher education, distance education, educational management and administration, educational technology and adult education. So what you have to do, the learners have to select any one area among the 5 areas and have to study all the courses in that area. Total credit in each area is 24. So what you have to do, if you have selected higher education, then you have to study all the 4 courses. So total credit will be 24. If you have select distance education, then 5 courses you have to study here. Then the total credit will be 24. So what you have to do, you have to select one area first. Then under that area you have to study all the courses. There may be 4 courses or there may be 5 courses in that area, but in this area you have to study 24 credit courses. Then further, these are the certain courses that are included in different areas, different specialized areas of MA education program that you have to study in the second year. Just like in higher education, MES-102, 101, 102, 103 and 104, these 4 courses you have to study if you have selected higher education. Then if you have selected distance education, you have to study starting from MES-111 to MES-115. Then in educational management and administration, MES-041, 42, 43 and 44. In educational technology area, you have to study, if you have selected educational technology, then these 4 courses you have to study: MES-031, 32, 33 and 34. And if you have selected adult education, then you have to study 4 courses, that is MAE-001, 002, 003 and 004. So what you have to do, you have to select one area first, then you have to study all the courses included only in that area. You cannot select courses from more than 1 areas. Okay, so you have to select one area first, specialized area, and you have to study all the courses in that area. Further, now let us discuss our today's course, that is an introduction to the course MES-014 Societal Context of Education. So in this course, this course is included in the Group B, that is, this is one of the core course, and you have to study this course in the first year of this program. and this is a 6 credit course which is offered in the first year. So here in this course we will study about the contribution of society towards education and how education helps for the development of the society, and many concepts, many discourses, many you can say aspects related to society and how far it is linked with our education system, our schooling. It may be formal, it may be non-formal education system, that we'll discuss. So further, let us try to understand that what is our social culture, what is our social tradition, what is our community practices, and how it got reflected in conceptualizing education, in developing curriculum, at the same time in practicing curriculum also, and how we call that the school is a miniature of the society, how it is a small form of the society, how all the norms, all the standards, all the practices of the society are used in schooling, used in education. That also we'll discuss. Okay, so everything is the part of the society. So here education is definitely a part of the society. So that's why that we'll discuss in this course. You see, the course MES-014 Societal Context of Education has been designed in 5 different blocks with 19 units. So friends, I have already said in my earlier session that we consider one unit is the smallest portion of the self-learning material of the SLM. It is the smallest unit that you can say that you can call as a chapter. Okay, so we call it as an unit, and few units are included in a block and few blocks are included in a course. So the entire course MES-014, that is Societal Context of Education, has been designed in 5 different blocks with 19 units. You will find that few units are included in each block. It may be 3 units, it may be 4 units, and it may be 5 units also. And the 5 blocks are, the title of the 5 blocks are just like block 1. Block 1, that is the title of block 1 is Education and Society, Concept and Perspectives. This is the title of this block. So here we will discuss about how education and society are interlinked with each other. What is the concept of the society? What is the concept of education? And what are the you can say sociological perspective to understand education. So mostly this course focuses upon one of the perspective of education to understand education, that is the sociological perspective. So friends, I have already discussed in my earlier program that education is a discipline, education as a knowledge discipline, education as a liberal discipline. You will find that to understand education, you have to understand its context and perspectives. The theories and knowledge that we discuss in education that are borrowed from different other disciplines, just like from sociology, from philosophy, from history, from technology, from curriculum issues, from pedagogy. So that's why here one of the perspective, one of the context has been considered and has been discussed in this course, and the course is designed to understand education in sociological context or sociological perspective. Accordingly, for understanding education, you will also go through to understand the philosophical context of education, the philosophical perspective of education, and further the other context and perspective of education is just like the historical perspective of education. That means the growth and development of education in a country. Okay, so every country is having a story of education. Every country is having its own narration, own narratives of education, is having its own development of education, own chronological development of education. So here also that we study in the perspective that's called as the historical perspective or historical context of education. Okay, so that we have studied in the second course, that is MES-012, and for the another context and perspective that's called as the psychological perspective to understand education, that we have studied in MES-013. Okay, learning, learner, and development, that we have studied in MES-013. So here, philosophical perspective we have studied in course 2, that is MES-012. Then historical perspective also we have studied in that course. Then in MES-013 we have already studied the psychological perspective, and here today we are going to discuss the sociological perspective, how education and society are linked, are interlinked with each other, how it helps each other, how it contributes for the development of each other. So this course is designed in 5 blocks. First course is education and society, its concept and perspectives. Block 2 is political and economic perspective of education. Block 3 is societal context of school. Then block 4 is knowledge and education, and block 5 is emerging concerns in Indian education. So these are the certain important blocks that are included in this course. So friends, now let us discuss the units that are included in each block, and what are the concepts, what are the major teaching point, major teaching learning point, major learning points that are discussed in each block of this course MES-014. Let us go forward. You see, the first block, the title is Education and Society, Concepts and Perspectives. So what is the perspective of education and society, and what is the concept of education and society, and how it contributes each other for the development, for its development.
सर मैं एक ऑनलाइन सेशन ले रहा था, थोड़ी देर बाद फोन सुन सकते? हेलो प्रणाम सर। सर मैं ऑनलाइन सेशन अभी दे रहा हूँ, सर मैं थोड़ा देर बाद बात करूँ? ओके सर, ओके।
Sorry friends, certain emergency was there. I'm very sorry. So here in block 1, the title of the block is Education and Society, its concept and perspectives. You will find 4 units are included in this block. That is unit 1, 2, 3 units are included in this block. Unit 1, 2 and 3. Unit 1, that is Education and Socialization. Unit 2 is Education, Social Structure, Social Stratification and Social Mobility, and Unit 3 is Social Change, Development and Education. So friends, mostly if you go through the self-learning material, you will find that here in Unit 1 we have discussed about the process of socialization. So what are the different agencies? Agencies are there that helps the individual child, that helps the human child for socializing. So that's why we can say that different agencies that help for socializing the child, that is it may be home, it may be community, it may be you can say a school, it may be state, it may be media. So what we have done, we have discussed in the first unit, we have discussed that the process of socialization means how a child, how grooming of the child that are taken place at the home, at the society. That means when the child come contact with the senior members of the family, and when the child come contact with the society, with different members of the society, when they involve in a group, okay, it may be in their game or it may be any type of interaction. So they learn many things. They learn our culture, the societal traditions, the societal practices, the values that we practice at the home and values that we practice in our society and in our community. So that's why starting from very beginning, you will find that the discussion has been taken place that how socialization takes place and what are the agencies that contributes for the socialization of the child. So friends, I just took two examples, that home and society or the community. At the same time, you will find that how school also helps for the socialization of the child, and presently you will find that how different media, it may be print media, it may be electronic media, that also equally helps the child for the socialization. Of the child. And the state administration and the rules and regulation for our living in the society, so that also equally helps us for socializing us. So that's why in this unit we have discussed about the process of education and how society, home, school, community, then media and state, that also equally help the human child for their grooming, to the individual for their grooming and to live their life. And further in unit 2 we have discussed about education, social structure, social stratification and social mobility. How education helps to practice the social structure, understand the social structure and develop the social structure also. At the same time, how social change takes place, how social stratification takes place and how social mobility takes place. So what is the concept of social mobility and how education contributes for the social mobility. So friends, when we talk about social change or social mobility, it means you will find that the people in the society, the concept of society, if I talk about that, the concept of society is a very dynamic concept, it's a very flexible concept. Okay, and you will find that the things or different aspect in the society, the things which is going on in the society, it is not stable. It is not, you can say, static. Rather, every time you will find that people from one group, they are moving to another group. They are moving from one status to another status. So far as their economic condition is concerned, so far as their education standard is concerned, so far as their, you can say, perception, their belief, their values, their knowledge structure is concerned, okay, and so far as their experiences is also concerned. You will find that in different strata of the society, where mobility takes place, I can say that from means mobility takes place either vertically or horizontally. It means vertically means from positive vertically, that means from the lower to the higher. You will find, if you ask yourself that whatever you have observed in your childhood days, you must have observed that at that time the people, those who are living in low economic status, low economic strata, those are coming from low socio-economic background, and today if you will see that a type of mobility has been taken place in the society and they have moved to another strata, you can say. It may be there may be economically light class, or there may be in the middle class or in the upper middle class, so far as their economic standard is concerned. And what is and how it is possible? This is possible. What are the factors and how to factorize for mobility which is taking place in the society? And the one and ultimate factor that you can say, that is education. That means when the child gets right education, the children, they continue their school education, then further they continue for their higher education. It may be in a professional field, it may be in a technical field, or it may be in a liberal field education, in higher education. And it is the education that helps the child, that helps the individual to involve in different world of work. Okay, it may be a white collar work, or it may be self-engaged in different types of you can say industry, different types of self-developed work. Okay, so that's why we can say that our society is never static. समाज कभी स्थिर नहीं है. समाज हमेशा गतिशील है. गतिशील मतलब एक अवस्था से दूसरे अवस्था को लोग गति करते हैं, और यह गतिशीलता शिक्षा ही इस गतिशीलता को एक मार्ग देता है. सो दैट्स व्हाई वी कैन से दिस इज द एजुकेशन इज द ओनली फैक्टर दैट कंट्रीब्यूट्स for the mobility of the society. So we have discussed in this unit about the concept of education and our societal structure. We have our society is a diversified society. You'll find that India is the only country in the world where huge diversities are there. बहुत सारे विविधताएं इस देश में है. Okay, but we always consider that all these diversities are our strength. Our diversities are not our weaknesses. So that's why considering all these diversities are as our strength, it may be diversities in languages, it may be diversities in our practices, diversities in our food habit, diversities in our beliefs, in our you can say job engagement, but at the same time we all live united. We have achieved unity in diversity. So what we have discussed here, our social structure. When we discuss about the social structure, you will find that our society is, you can say, this is framed with different classes, with different caste, with different, you can say, beliefs, with different culture, with different traditions, with different language and dialect practices. Okay, all have their individual living style, and still then we have achieved, you can say, unity among all these diversities. And further we have discussed about the social stratification, how stratification happens, and further how mobility takes place in the society, how changes takes place in the society. So that we have discussed in unit 2, and further we have also discussed about social change, development and education in unit 3. So being a responsible citizen of this country, it is our responsibility that we are the part of the society, we live in the society, we understand our society. So that's why it is our work to understand our societal practices, at the same time to work for preserving our societal practices, and also to work for the development of our society, development of the practices of our society. You might have understood better that if you ask your childhood days, the social norms and practices that you have earlier observed in your society, in your community where you are living in, and if you compare it with today's practices, you will find that many things have been changed. Okay, and this is because of the social change, this is because of the mobility, and this is further this is because of the development of education, this is because of the education of the individual. So that's why we can say that the things that we observe in the society, that is not static at all, rather that is always changeable, that is always dynamic in nature. That means mobility takes place at every moment, at every you can say situation, at every place of the society. So that's why in unit 3 we have discussed about the social change, at the same time development and education. So how to understand the society, the societal norm, how to understand the nature of interaction among the people, how to understand the living style of the people, how to understand the occupation, the traditional occupations, or the engagement of the societal people, of the societal you can say engagement of the people in the society in different professions, and at the same time how to work for their development, how to work for the development of the society, and how to preserve it also. At the same time, how to transmit culture from one generation to other generation, from one society to another society. Okay, so that's why we groom to the young generation, and they also understand about our societal practices by observation and by teaching, by engagement, by experience. So that's why this is the main aspect that has been discussed in this block, that to understand the society, understand the process of socialization, how a human child gets socialized, that is also another important aspect, and where the process of socialization, it starts from where. Okay, so that we have discussed, and further we have discussed what is social mobility, what is social change, and how mobility takes place in the society, how people move from one strata to other strata, and what is our social structure, then accordingly how the social structure and the social practices are further developed, and how to preserve the culture, how to transmit the culture, how to develop the culture. So that we have discussed in block 1 of this course. In block 2, further we have discussed the political and economic perspectives of education. So here we have discussed this block is designed in 3 different units, that is unit 4, 5 and 6. Unit 4 is economics of education, unit 5 is political economy of education, and unit 6 is economic policy, decision making and political perspective of education. Okay, so here we have discussed that political and economic perspective of education. What is the economic perspective of education and what is the political perspective of education? That means the administration of a country or administration of a state, the political belief, the political engagement, political willpower of a particular party who forms the government, who administered the state or who administered the country. So what is their belief, what is their willingness, and what is their focus point so far as the development of education is concerned? Okay, because the per capita income of you can say the citizen of this country, the livelihood of the country and economic engagement of this country, somehow it is related with education, and education is related with political willpower, because it is the government who come out with the new policies, who come out with the you can say new system of education. The policies also further will come out with new programs, new means how to develop new skills and competencies among the citizens, how to empower the citizens, how to educate the citizens, so that they can feel that they are empowered enough to do certain new work, to do certain creative work, to do certain constructive work. So that's why political willpower and political administration is somehow related with the education. This is one of the perspective, and further the another perspective is the economic perspective. Economic perspective, it means when we engaged with education, the money that we spent in education, the money that we invest in education, we can't say that this is just you can say we are spending certain money without a purpose. This is a purposeful investment, you can say. So today, if you are if you are spending certain amount for the education, then further you will find that the individual, they will come out with proper education, they will be educated, and further they will engage in different world of work. So that's why this block focuses upon the political willpower for developing a right policy for the educational development of the citizen of this country, at the same time economic perspective of education. You see, in the 4th block we have discussed the economics of education, in 5th block we have discussed political economy of education, and in the 6th in the 4th unit, 5th unit and 6th unit. In 6th unit we have discussed about economic policy, decision making and political perspective of education. So mostly the things that I have discussed here, we have discussed that how to spend education in education, how to invest in education. So we invest in education in many forms. Institute invest in education, develop its infrastructure, appoint the teacher. At the same time, you will find that government also spent a lot for development of the curriculum, for development of the educational policy, for development of the infrastructure. It may be research institute, it may be research establishment, or at the same time for developing a right culture of teaching learning process in the schools and colleges. You will find that both state government and central government they established many new institutions, they develop infrastructure. So that's why when we talk about economics of education, that means the money that we spend in education, it is not a waste, rather that is an investment, because that will give you multiple times of return, you can say, in future. You will be self-sufficient in future. Okay, and further, you can also give employment to others if you well educated, properly skilled, and if you have attitude to do something new. So that's why economics of education, that we have discussed, that how education opens the window for economic development of the society, economic development of the individual, then further the economic development of the society, at the same time economic development of the country. Okay, so that we have discussed. Then political economy of the country. You see, I was just talking about the political administration, the government, the focus point of the government, the educational focus point of the development of the government, what the government wants, what type of curriculum, what type of courses, what type of programs government wants that it should run in the school, what type of subject, what type of vocational courses, what type of technical courses, what type of professional courses the government wants to run it at the school, at the technical institutions, at the professional institutions, at the same time at the general educational institutions, because that will further help the individual to be self-sufficient. That will further help the individual, help the society, and ultimately that will also help the country for the development. Okay, so moving from developing to development, it is the education. Education is the sole factor, you can say, that make the country reach at the developed country from the developing country. So that's why what type of program, what type of courses, what type of investment that is required in education, the government also, the political the political willpower of the government, that they take decision. So that's why this is one type of political economy of education, because if the government will invest certain things in education, then at a time, over the time, you will find that will come out with a political economy. That means the country will be self-sufficient. The citizens of the country will be self-sufficient. Okay, so that's why this is another important aspect that we have discussed in Unit 5. And in Unit 6, we have discussed about economic policy, decision making, and political perspective of education. So here, what is our economic policy and what is the decision making? Who takes the decision? And the political perspective of education. So what is the context? What is the political context and perspectives of the government for the development of education, for the development of elementary education, for the development of higher secondary education, and for the development of higher education, for the development of technical education. And recently, the development of, you can say, that is your right, NEP 2020, National Education Policy 2020, you will find that this is the political focus point, this is the political willpower that the country has come out with a national policy on education. And in the coming days, you will find that the government will invest a lot of money, will invest a lot of economy for the development of education as per the different recommendation of NEP 2020. Okay, so that's why here we have discussed about the economic policy, decision making, how the government and how the political parties are taking decision for the development of education of the country, of the citizens of this country. That is also discussed in block 2. And further, in block 3, the title of the block is social context of school. This is the social context of school. So here we have given importance upon the social context of school. That means how school and the society, how school and community are linked with each other, how school helps the society and how society helps for the school for each other's development, for each other's promotion, for each other's, you can say, betterment. So that are discussed in this point. And first, you'll find that this block is designed in 5 different units: Unit 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Unit 7, that is school as a social organization. Unit 8 is schooling as a socio-cultural process. Unit 9, that is teacher as an educational input. Then Unit 10, that is teaching profession. Unit 11, that is community participation in education. So friends, now let us try to understand कि ये जो 5 यूनिट्स इसमें दिया गया है, तो ये 5 यूनिट का क्या कंसेप्ट है. यूनिट 7 में हमने डिस्कशन किया कि स्कूल एज ए सोशल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. सो हाउ स्कूल इज ए सोशल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. आई हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड दैट स्कूल इज कॉल्ड एज ए मिनिएचर ऑफ द सोसाइटी. सो यू सी द सोशल प्रैक्टिसेस एज सोसाइटी एज ए ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. You will find that we practice different languages, we practice our culture, we practice our values, our democratic values, moral values, and other types of values also. And we live together with a common belief, with a common feeling, with cooperation between each other. Okay, we help each other, we cooperate each other, we understand each other. So that's why we can say that we follow a tradition in the society also. We have our own rituals, and all follow that rituals, all follow that tradition, all follow that culture. So here the organization or the practices of the school is also of the society is also being practiced in the school. In school you will find that the children they are sitting together in a class. Means the interactions, the discourses of the children that takes place within a group. Okay, so here you will find that the individual students, they try to understand each other, they try to understand each other's feeling, they try to understand each other's attitude, okay, each other's knowledge, each other's experiences, each other's observations. So that's why in school you will find that the students are working, the students are living, the students are interacting in a group. So when we talk about a group, then definitely that reflects a type of a miniature of the society. Okay, because in a society we are living in a group, and also in a school we are living in a group. Okay, we understand each other, we help each other, our grooming takes place by our mutual effort. So that's why that is discussed in Unit 7, that school as a social organization. How school is a type of social organization. School is not a different world, you can say. The practices in a school is not differently. So here teaching learning process, you will find that the teaching learning process are taking place in the school, but so far as human relation is concerned, humanistic approach is concerned, group relation is concerned, you will find that this is just like a society. This is just like a type of organization that we practice, that we follow in the society. Okay. And further in Unit 8 we have discussed schooling as a socio-cultural process. So schooling is also a socio-cultural process. In the society, our grooming takes place. In the family, our grooming takes place. We understand about the culture of the society, what to do and what not to do. ओके, हमें क्या करना चाहिए, क्या नहीं करना चाहिए, एंड सोसाइटी में रहने के लिए हम एक दूसरे के साथ किस प्रकार भावना में रहे, किस प्रकार एक दूसरे को हम मदद करें. तो वही एक संस्कृति हम सीखते हैं, एक लैंग्वेज हम सीखते हैं, ट्रेडिशन हम सीखते हैं, एक दूसरे को you can say respect करना हम सीखते हैं. You will find that the same thing that we practice in school. So schooling is a socio-cultural process. In schooling also our grooming takes place. We understand new knowledge basing upon our earlier experiences that we have experienced from the society, from the when we are coming in contact with different group, with different people in the society. So in school also you will find that a type of cultural practices, a type of socio-cultural practices that we practice, a culture of studying, a culture of participating in different activities, a culture of exhibiting oneself, a culture of understanding others. Okay, so that also being practiced in the school. So that's why Unit 8 discusses schooling as a socio-cultural process. This is not something different, rather the practices in the society somehow reflects in the schooling. And further in Unit 9 we have discussed teacher as an educational input. So how teacher as an educational input? So here we have discussed we have discussed the role of teacher, how teacher engaged you can say his or her whole life for the betterment of the learners, for the betterment of the students. You will find that teacher engaged the learners in different activities, teacher engaged the learners in different discussions, in brainstorming, in narration, and also in different activities. Okay, so here we have discussed that being a teacher, what is the role of a teacher for the grooming of the child, for the grooming of the students. Okay, so what is apart from the curricular role, means what is there in the curriculum, it is the primary role of the teacher to teach the learners, to transact the curriculum. So apart from this primary role, apart from transacting the curriculum, teacher also engaged for development of values among the children, values among the students, development of other aspect, development of you can say the total personality of the children. Okay, it may be for their physical development, for their emotional development, for their social development, for their spiritual development. Okay, so all types of development that happens within the individual, within the child, within the learner, that is being possible with the active involvement of the teacher. Teacher provides the way, teacher provides the direction, teacher facilitates the learners for their own development. So that's why the educational inputs are provided by the teacher for the development of the learner. At the same time, for the total development of the learner, teacher also contributes a lot. And further we have discussed in Unit 10, that is teaching profession. So here, whether teaching is a profession or not, and to whom we will call that this is a profession, just like a professional discipline. Teacher education is a professional discipline. Okay, so we say that this is a discipline which has a substantial body of knowledge, which has a type of you can say research base, which have a definite group of people. Those are having certain you can say certain belief and strong viewpoint on that discipline. They do the research, they bring changes in that discipline, and every discipline is having a type of academic manifestation. That means that discipline is being practiced in schools and in the colleges through different academic programs. So that's why we talk teaching profession. That means the profession of teaching, that is a you can say professional discipline. And here the teaching profession is a sacred profession, because every day teacher meets the students, teacher helps the learners, teacher helps to understand the children. Okay, so here with the curricular development, you will find that the teacher also engaged for the total development of the personality of the children. And further in Unit 11, we have discussed community participation in education, how community participate for the development of education. So here school and community are linked with each other. Okay, without school you cannot you can say expect for the development of a school. And without the involvement of education, without the involvement of schooling, you cannot expect the development of the community. That's why community participation in education happens from earlier time, also from, you can say, from the Gurukul system of education, from the Vedic system of education, and it also continues till today. That means you will find that community come forward actively for the development of the education, for the development of the school, for the development of the infrastructure of the school. You will find that the community members, they come forward and they develop the school. Okay, and if I talk about the Right to Education Act, Act 2009, you will find that formally how community will involve in the school process, in the educational process. So there is a recommendation, that is the establishment of the formation of SMC. That's called a School Management Committee, SMC. So here you will find that the role of SMC, the primary role of SMC is to develop a school development plan. Okay, so question might be coming to your mind that what is a school development plan? So school development plan is a 3 years plan where all the aspect of the school for the development of the school are mentioned, including the requirement of the teachers, that is the appointment of the teachers, requirement of the subject teachers, requirement of school infrastructure, requirement of school building, classroom, basic amenities, basic facilities just like water, electricity. Okay, so you'll find that the school management committee will sit together and they will develop a SDP, school development plan, and further that school development plan will be communicated to the government, and government will provide you the facilities, will provide you the budget for the development of the school as per the planning, as per the school development plan submitted by the school management committee. And you will find that both teachers, parents and community members, local governments are the members of the school management committee. Okay, so further that we have discussed in unit 11, that how community participates in education, in what way community participates in education. At the same time, it is not only community participates in education, it is either side. That means school also or education also participates in community. So here you will find that for development of perception of the society, for development of values of the society, for changing the attitude of the societal person, of the population of the society towards certain aspect, you will find that the role of education is very important. Okay, you will find that the school children, teachers, they come to the society, they come to the community, and they involve themselves for the development of the community, for changing the attitude of the community, for changing the beliefs of the community, beliefs of the society. So that's why community participation in education, this is not only community participates, rather education or the schooling is also participates for the development of community. Okay, so such things we have discussed in block 3, that is societal context of school. Then further in block 4 we have discussed knowledge and education. So here we have discussed about this block has been designed in 4 different units, that is unit 12, 13, 14 and 15. Unit 12 is social organization of knowledge, unit 13 is ideology and curriculum, unit 14 is medium of instruction, and unit 15 is mass media and education. So here we have discussed about acquisition of knowledge, the concept of knowledge. We can say knowledge means it may be in a type of principle, it may be a type of theory that we practice in the teaching learning process, that we practice for solving our difficulties, that we practice in our education. Okay, so here how knowledge and education is addressed, and how knowledge and education of the society are being used in education is also one of the part. So that's why social organization of knowledge. So what are the social organization of knowledge? So here we have discussed that in a society you will find that we live in a society, we involve ourselves in different social culture, different tradition, different societal practice in our rituals. Okay, so here when we involve in the society, when we observe the things which is going on in the society, so that is a type of knowledge, you can say. We are just acquiring, we are just experiencing many things, we are just acquiring new knowledge. Okay, so how social organizations helps to acquire knowledge, helps to get new knowledge has been discussed in unit 12. And further in unit 13 we have discussed ideology and curriculum. Okay, so what is a curriculum? First of all, we should understand that what is a curriculum and how a curriculum is different from a syllabus. A curriculum includes you can say that a curriculum includes all aspects of learner's development. Okay, it may be physical development, it may be social development, it may be emotional development, it may be spiritual development, it may be physical development. So here curriculum includes for the total development of the personality. It includes scholastic activities. At the same time, it also includes co-scholastic activities. Okay, so other types of development of the individual is possible through the co-curricular for the development of co-curricular activities, for the development of co-scholastic activities of the child. So that's why that is being a part of the curriculum. Okay, the other areas of knowledge, you can say studying speech education, studying value education, studying art and craft education, studying yoga education, studying physical education. So these are the part of curriculum apart from the syllabi. That means the core subject that are being studied in the school and in the colleges and universities. It may be science, social science, mathematics, or languages. Okay, it may be Hindi languages, it may be English language. So here, this is the concept of curriculum, a syllabus that also address only the curricular aspect, only the scholastic aspect, only the core courses. But when we talk about a curriculum, that includes everything. That also includes assessment, how to transact the curriculum, what are the medias that we're supposed to use for transacting the curriculum. So how to make reach from one side to other side, from children, from learners to the teacher. That is the curriculum. And further, ideology and curriculum. So how to develop the curriculum. So what are the different ideology for developing the curriculum? So you will find that if you discuss philosophical context of developing the curriculum, you will find that the ideas and visions of many educationists and philosophers are different. Okay, Gandhiji's basic education system, Gandhiji's craft-centered education system is somehow different from other philosophers, other educationists. Okay, and Sri Aurobindo's integral education is somehow different. The practices or the curriculum of education, which is or the vision of education by Swami Vivekananda, Sri Aurobindo. Okay, so that's why here the ideology and curriculum we have discussed here, that how to conceptualize a curriculum and what ideology, what vision, what values should be reflected in the curriculum. And further, in unit 14, this is discussed about medium of instruction. So what are the different medium that we can use for reaching at the children? So here if of instruction also impacts a lot for the development of education of the child. So here many a time you will find that if we talk about primary education, elementary education, this has also been mentioned, recommended in NDP 2020 that medium of instruction, if it is possible, up to class 8, it should be in one's mother tongue. It should be in one's local language. Okay, but here when we are talking about the medium that we use in education, you will find that so far as school education or the elementary and primary education is concerned, learners, they are very much acquainted with or the knowledge constructs in one's mother tongue, in one's local language. So whether we use the local language as the medium of instruction, or we can also use other languages, so that are discussed here. That means the medium of instruction, what medium of instruction that helps the child for their development in school education, at the same time in higher education. And further in unit 15, this has been discussed about mass media and education. So how media helps, how mass media contributes for the development of education of the human child. So here mass media means it may be radio, it may be television. So you will find that nowadays we are using social media, we are using both print at the same time electronic media, many electronic media. But what we are getting, we are just grooming ourselves, we are getting knowledge and information, we are getting ourselves experienced when we watch a TV program, when we listen a radio program, and when we involve in different media. It may be newspaper, it may be TV, it may be radio, it may be internet. Okay, so we engage ourselves for acquiring knowledge, for acquiring education. So that's why, friends, that I discussed how mass media is an agency of education, how it socializes the child, at the same time how it you can say help for the grooming of the child, for the development of the child. That also we have discussed. So in this block, knowledge and education, first of all we have discussed social organization and of knowledge. Then further we have discussed ideology and curriculum. We have also discussed medium of instruction, and in the last unit we have discussed how mass media contributes for the development of education. And further, in the last block, the block title is Emerging Concerns in Indian Education. So what are the emerging concerns of Indian education? Okay, so you'll find that this block is designed in 4 different units: Unit 16, 17, 18 and 19. Unit 16 is Social Diversity and Education. Unit 17, that is Equity and Excellence in Education. Unit 18 is Alternatives in Education, and Unit 19 is Recent Trends in Indian Education. So being a student of education, being a learner of education, you should understand about certain emerging concerns in Indian education. The first concern is that is addressed in Unit 16, that is social diversity and education. So what are the social diversity? I have already said that our society is not static. Our society is ever dynamic, ever mobile. Rather, we can say changes always taken place in the society. You will find that so far as language is concerned, there is diversity in our society. So far as our practices are concerned, so far as our traditions, our culture and other aspects are concerned, our society is a diversified society. And further, I have already said that irrespective of all these diversities, we live together, we believe each other, we help each other, we cooperate each other, and we groom each other. Okay, we develop, you can say, unitedly. Okay, by helping each other. So that are discussed in Unit 16. So we consider that all these diversities are as our strength, not as our weaknesses. Further, in Unit 7, the unit title is Equity and Excellence in Education. So friends, we are this is our constitutional obligation that we have to achieve equity and equality. Okay, samata or samanata. So what is equity and what is equality and what is excellence? When we talk about excellence, it means quality. So friends, I am just talking about 3 things here: equality, equity and excellence, or equality, equity and quality. So how to achieve all these 3 emerging concerns in Indian society so far as education is concerned? First of all, if I will give the example, being a teacher, you are just using a single assessment technique to assess the ability of the learners. Okay, but you see, the learners who are studying in your class, they are not homogeneous in nature. Rather, you can say they are always heterogeneous in nature. Heterogeneous in nature means the abilities of the learners, the perception of the learners, the value system of the learners, the attitude of the learners, you will find that it is different. All have their own understanding, all have their own beliefs, all have their own attitude. Then how to provide them equal treatment? How to provide them equity? Equality you can bring, you can say that yes, you are just using one method for all. That means equally, you are just giving input equally to all. But the things will not be solved here. With providing equality, you should ensure equity. So how do you ensure equality? For ensuring equality, you have to observe. You have to observe that whether the other diversified learners are concerned, whether they are also equally able to do the activity or not, do the assignment practices or not, whether they want something different. So unless you have a clear idea about the parameter, about the different diversities of the students to whom you are teaching, then you cannot be a good teacher and you cannot provide well you can provide, or you cannot spread the concept of equality and equity. So with equity, what you have to do, you have to provide individualized instruction. You have to provide individualized treatment, that X को क्या चाहिए, Y को क्या चाहिए, कौन सा assessment technique X को चाहिए, कौन सा assessment technique Y को चाहिए. Accordingly, you can design your assessment in the teaching learning process. And further, after discussing the equity and equality, anyhow you have to achieve the equity, you have to bring the learners at a level. Okay, जो जहां है वही छोड़ के आप जा नहीं सकते, रादर एक लेवल तक उनको आपको लाना पड़ेगा. That's called as the equity. And further, excellence. So friends, when we achieve equity, then this is believed that you have achieved excellence. So that's why excellence is the quality. That means when your purpose will be solved, when your you can say the purpose for adopting a particular thing is solved in the society, then you can say that certain quality is there. That is the excellence. So equity, equality, and excellence are also another emerging concerns in Indian education. And further, alternatives in education. So what are the alternatives in education? So friends, we do education, or we provide education in face-to-face education system. We also provide education in non-formal system of education, and also in formal system of education. In formal system of education, you'll find that a definite course or definite curriculum is there. Teachers are appointed and students are coming to a place that's called as the school, and every day there is teaching learning process. Okay, but alternative in education, it means education is also possible, imparting education is also possible in alternative education system, just like distance education system, ODL system, or online education system. Nowadays online education system is getting its own popularity. Okay, so that's why these are the alternatives in education. If you are not able, feel free to pursue a face-to-face education, a conventional system of education. Then you can engage yourself in alternative system of education, and you'll find that the methods, media, use of media, and the technology are somehow different from a face-to-face university that are being practiced in an alternative education system. Then further, in Unit 19, we have discussed about recent trends in Indian education. So what are the recent trends in Indian education to achieve, you can say, to practice inclusive education, to address the special learning children, at the same time, reducing the gap between the haves and have-nots. And further, we can say that adopting new methods, new techniques, and new technologies in the teaching learning process. Okay, developing unique curriculum is also another important aspect. And examination, moving from assessment of learning towards achieving assessment for learning is also another important concern. Okay, so it may be grading and marking. It may be different types of social diversity. It may be equity, excellence, and equity. It may be alternatives in education, and further, it may be in different recent trends that are being practiced in education. Okay, so these are the important things that are discussed in block 5. And further, for transacting the curriculum, this is the practice of the IGNOU, that we use a definite process and procedure. Just like we provide complete self-learning material, all the self-learning material of MA education program is available in the IGNOU portal of Indira Gandhi National Open University, and these materials are also being provide to the learners, okay, through post. Then further, counseling sessions on each courses that are being conducted at the study center, and being the co-coordinator of the program, regularly I'm taking Facebook live sessions, and further these live sessions are also being uploaded in YouTube, in my YouTube channel. So that's why we are using social media. We are using highly the social media for reaching at the learners. Then further, assessment, compulsory assessment that is the assignment, compulsory assignment for assessment, and term and examination are also practiced for the evaluation purpose. One is 30% weightage, that is assignment, and other is the term and examination with the weightage is of 70%. And you will find that term and examination are conducted in IGNOU in both the months of January and June every year. Now the next examination date has not declared. It may be conducted in August, in July sometime. Okay, that is not declared. So 70% weightage is given for the term and examination, and 30% weightage is given for the assignment. And for the regular teleconferencing session and regular interactive radio counseling session is also another important component of transacting the MA education program. Then induction program also, this is being taken by the school, taken by the regional center or the study center. But mostly I have taken the induction program. You can find many videos about the induction program, which is available in my Facebook, in the IGNOU MA Education Learners Facebook group, and also you will find it in IGNOU official Facebook page. It is also available in Twitter, and this is also available in my YouTube. So by using such media and method, we use multiple method for transacting our curriculum. So friends, just to recapitulate, today we discuss the fourth course of MA Education Program, that is MES-014. Course title is Societal Context of Education. So here we have discussed that how society and education are linked with each other, how it helps each other, how it cooperates each other for each other's development. For further queries, you can write to me niradhar@ignou.ac.in. You can make me a telephone call. My intercom is 2994. You can visit my Facebook page. You can also visit my YouTube channel and my Twitter handle. You will find that more than 250 video lessons are there relating to different aspect of education, relating to different aspect of dissertation course of education, that is MES-016. Okay, so friends, it will help you a lot for pursuing your course, and these videos which is in my Facebook, YouTube and Twitter handle, that will help for studying education as a discipline, pursuing your MA education program, at the same time for understanding different other aspects, other discourses, other concepts of education. In our next session, I will just inform you about the date and time. We'll discuss the next course, that is MES-015, Operational Dimensions of Education. Thank you.